Well. Welcome to the segment. Welcome to Free For All Friday.
Free For All.
204-780-6868. 204-780-6868. Give us a call. Give us a text.
All your wildest dreams.
Your
could
wildest
come true.
takes. Your craziest. Or even just give us a call. Anything.
Today's the day where instead of going, that is the most ridiculous thing, we go, I'll think about it.
Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line and win a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program as we come at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. Try the new Triple Pep Pizza only at Boston Pizza. Also, so we're going to be giving away our VIP car wash, as we always do, from our good friends at Wash Method.
Wash Method!
But also, we're going to give away that $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza today.
50.
For those calling into the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800.
I don't know about you.
I have that number right here, Jim. It's right here. I can hit the button right now, but I won't. I can play that call right now, but I won't.
I don't know
not
about
gonna do
you,
it.
but $50 could get me out of a couple jams.
Good.
Yeah.
A couple of real
pickles.
Serious.
Just help a little bit, you know?
Jams.
Yeah.
Sorry, we just got a text here that just came in, and oh god, it's just funny. Sorry, totally
Let's
off
have it.
topic
It's Free
here.
For All Friday. Let's have it.
Mike says, okay, well, I'll read it. Mike says, nobody text. It's Free For All Friday. It's the phone calls only rule.
Is this Mike who's upset because you didn't read your
Yeah,
text?
Mike doesn't like it when we don't read his text. He gets
Where are
upset
you,
with
Mike?
us.
Mike, there he is. Nobody texts Free For All Friday. Let's go up.
Well, we
and
take
say,
calls, we take text messages, all. And you know what? What are we doing now on Mondays, Jim? We're reheating. We're reheating. We're taking the Friday
leftovers.
text message leftovers because you guys have great texts, and we play them again on Monday. So, Mike, just letting you know.
Thanks for listening, Mike. And guess what? We read your text today, even though we take phone calls. So it just happened, Mike. It's a Free For All Friday miracle.
Hey, it's George. Hey, George, welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
It's just not long enough.
Sorry,
go
ahead. Say that again, George.
I said, you guys need to make this show longer. It's just not long enough.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You guys need to go 2 hours, maybe at the least.
Free For All.
Well, you know what we want? What we want is we want you to want more.
That would be a real Free For All if we just went till the calls stopped coming.
That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
I've been around before the Free For All Fridays even started, and I was actually the first Wash Method winner.
Nice.
Well, you might win another one at some other time. I don't know if you might win it today, George, too. I don't know. We might not give it away this early, but what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
So I want to say what happened, what the Jets did or got from the Dallas Stars when they got kicked out in the amount of games, that the Edmonton Oilers did the same thing to the Dallas Stars. So people are always looking at the Winnipeg Jets like they need to buy the second high performance center and spend all this money. And how much money did Ratman sign for?
12.5.
12.5. I will confirm that. If that is incorrect, I will fix that. But keep going.
So there you go. So what does it mean to buy expensive? It doesn't mean nothing because the same thing happened to them as well as the same thing happens to the Jets. Only the Jets made it past the first round this year, but I mean Dallas has all these players on there, and they just purchased a high performance player, and they still didn't get to the Final Four.
Yeah, well, he was pretty good against the Jets, if you remember, George. I mean, Rantanen was pretty good. It's $12 million till 2033, 2033. Sorry.
That's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah. So to me, and I repeat this, like the most overrated day in the NHL is July 1st, free agent day.
Yeah.
The second most overrated day is whenever the trade deadline falls. Those are the two most overrated days in the NHL. When everybody says, "Oh, this guy guy's going to take this team over. They're now the favorites to win the Stanley Cup and all that."
Yeah.
And I think yes, you want to add at the deadline. Were the Jets trying to do more at the deadline, Jim? And I want you to weigh in on this too. Were the Jets trying to do more at the deadline? I 100% think that they were trying to do more. I mean, but there was only really one center on on tap that was available. Brock Nelson, he just re-signed for 7.5 for 3 years with the Colorado Avalanche. So that's where he was going anyways. There wasn't a play.
Well, there's another player they signed for, and how long did they get?
They got bounced by Dallas in the first round. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
there's stories out there that they were in on Brock Besser too, as a couple teams were, but they wanted a first-round pick for Besser.
Yeah,
and the Jets weren't willing to pay it. Look, the idea that they left $6 million on the table, did they leave it on the table or did they try to spend it? That's two different things, right? The fact that it didn't get spent doesn't mean they weren't trying to spend it.
Okay. Would it have made any
misnomer that every year, either in free agency or misnomer has become my new favorite word, by the way.
Misnomer.
Nobody's blocked in the organization. You earn your spot, play better, and you'll move
Thanks
up
for the call, George. Appreciate it.
Thanks, George.
I wanted to ask you guys if you knew anything about the juniors.
What about juniors? What juniors?
The boys at Kevin He, Jillian.
We'll get it when development camp happens after the draft. We'll get a good look at them. We'll try to get a few of them on the show for sure. I'd love to talk to Kevin He again.
If any of them would be actually playing for the Moose this year or not.
Maybe, you know what? I think a guy like Jacob Julian will be with the Moose. Kevin He, like Kieran Walton, I think they might go back to Walton.
Yeah.
I think that's still to be determined, but thanks for the call. And Jim, keep on your point.
So I just wanted to finish it, and the misnomer that Kevin Cheveldayoff just sits around and doesn't try on free agency day or the trade deadline. What team is about to win the President's Trophy and their GM isn't trying to improve it? And people can say, but here's the thing, Cam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's a little frustrating. I find it after all these years. Do you want him this is what they would go the other way. Say they brought in a forward that's making $3 million. Then it's a waste of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get it done. He went and got this third liner, or all he did was get Tanev and Shen and blah, blah, blah. Like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I don't think he left $6 million on the table. I think he tried to spend it and couldn't find a deal that was going to make the team better or worth the assets that were going the other way.
So the people who feel that Cheveldayoff left $6 million on the table, do you think he should have just went out there and just got whoever was available just to get to that $6 million cap?
Well, look,
would that make any sense? Like, would that make any sense? Just go and grab players for the sake of it?
That's what I mean. Just to bring in another
no
forward
sense.
or another goal scorer.
Yeah.
And then tell me who the goal scorer is and are they coming and what do they make? And we don't know this. But the idea that I don't assume a National Hockey League GM with a first overall place team is not trying to spend $6 million in cap space. I just don't assume that. Now, look, Colorado, we'll get to the next call. Colorado trades for Brock Nelson. He doesn't want to come to Winnipeg, goes to Colorado. They re-sign him, $7.5 million.
That's where he was going. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
They are now have less than $2 million in cap space. They have to make a move. And the word is defenseman Sam Girard or Martin Necas, because he has a year left and he's not happy. But these are the other fallouts, right? They made a big move, a massive move, a first-round pick. Now, they retained the player, but now they got to move out one or two other pieces because they don't have the space for that $7.5 million. All great problems to have if you're the Colorado Avalanche, but I don't sit around and go, well, Chevy left $6 million on the table. Did he leave it there and say, I'm not moving this, I'm not touching it? Or did he go, I'm going to try and spend this and I just can't?
Like, just go back to that. That's a great thought, Jim. Go back to that. Did he just have okay, we got $6 million here and I'm going to keep that money safe. I don't want to spend it. What justification is there not to try and spend that money?
I have a first place team in the West, Mark Chipman, and I'm going to save you $6 million of it.
So
not only am I going to go in the playoffs, but I'm going to save you $6 million.
So what was more likely? Cheveldayoff said, I got $6 million. I'm just going to leave it here. Just tuck it away.
You know, it's not his $6 million, right?
Well,
by saving it, he doesn't get it.
So what's more likely, that or him trying to actively spend the money that was available to make a move and it just didn't work out?
Maybe he didn't want to spend $5 million of it on a $2 million player.
We're not privy to all the deals and everything that was going on in all the conversations. We just don't know. So people create narratives in their mind, right? It's like, why did he leave that money on the table? Well, what sense would it have been if Cheveldayoff went and just spent $6 million for no reason? It has to fit. It has to make sense.
And then we would do the opposite, right? He went in and brought in a $5 million player who's playing like a $2 million player. They lost to Dallas, and then he blew that money.
Yeah.
That was a bad move by Chevy. I just don't assume he's not trying ever. He's always trying.
That's just, I think that is, if that's where your mind is going, I think you're wrong.
Like July 1st is coming.
Yeah.
7 or 8 players that the Jets are looking at are going to go off the board, and then it's going to come out all over social media. Chevy's at the cabin again doing nothing. No, he's not. He's probably trying to convince one of those 7 or 8 players to take a chance on Winnipeg.
Do you think that, do you think he's just going, well, we never get players on free agency, so I'm just going to go hang out at the cabin and just like, I'll be out fishing on July 1st. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Let's come back. On the other side, we'll get to more of your calls and texts.
Walking around the office going, is he in today? Did he not come in?
Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon. Hotline open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Dig into the new triple pep pizza and double trouble nachos available now only at Boston Pizza. We have that number 1 caller. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the name. Circling it even on my screen. I was going to get a $50 gift certificate like you could if you call the Boston Pizza Hockey Hotline 204-780-6800. You could win like this caller will next Friday. We'll be right back. Boston Pizza Jets at noon. Hotline open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Dig into the new triple pep pizza and double trouble nachos available now only at Boston Pizza. Let's get David O on the program. Hey, David, how are you?
Hey, good guys. How are you doing?
Thanks for holding. What's up?
Good, Dave.
Hey, I'd really like to see a little more size on the team. I think during the playoffs, we were playing above our weight. We were punching above our weight. We were trying to hit, but I don't think we were making those hits really count. We got the numbers, but I don't think we have the really penetrating size. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think when I look at the series, I think they didn't finish the chances they created.
Yeah, very good point. But, even if we were to go a couple rounds later, I think that we were running out of physical steam. And we were playing a big physical game. We were winning when we played those games. But, with the injuries starting to add up, I don't know that we would have had the longevity to go all the way anyway.
Okay, so David, I look at St. Louis, right? I mean, they threw themselves around. I mean, they were physical. They had big bodies out there. I know it took 1.6 or 2.2 or 3 seconds left, whatever it was, officially came down as to beat them. But the Jets were able to prevail in that series, right? And I'll go back to the conversation we had with Dwayne Gilawaychuk here on 680 CJOB on Jets at Noon a couple weeks back, Jim, where we talked about like grit and determination and all that. And I don't think the Jets are lacking in that. I mean, I think we just define those things as like big bodies, big checking, hard hits and all that. And I think we're missing sort of the subtleties behind, what being tough and having grit is. And that's going to the areas, that's winning board battles, that's, having the right position with your stick and, defending the front of the net. And I don't think the Jets lacked in that. And I got to agree with Jim, David, when it was just if they would have finished on their chances, and they had a lot of them, and you heard that from Gabriel Velarde and Kyle Connor and, Josh Morrissey missing, open nets and stuff like that. That was the deciding factor in that series.
Yeah, and David, I'm with you. I think size does factor. It's not something I would go out of my way, but I think you need it, and I think you have to have it. But to me, if they weren't creating chances, I'd be like, maybe they need more size. Maybe they need to get to the net more. But they did create a lot of chances. They just didn't bury them.
Yeah, but
sure. Now, along those lines,
you know what, David? I'll let you get that point in. Let's come back and I'll let you finish your point. Okay, we got to take a break.
Okay, yeah, sure. Great,
yeah, we'll be right back. Yeah, we're brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road, the most romantic place I've ever seen.
And it's Friday. It's the weekend. Date night, right?
You just, whenever you say Wash Method, there's just like a,
you know what I think
a hum.
is
in
happening?
my ears, it's like angels singing, like.
You know what I think is happening around our city, our province? There are spouses everywhere going, hey, it's Friday. Can I take you to dinner? Or, hey, it's Friday. Can I take you to a movie? Do you want to go out, have a beverage, just the two of us? And that spouse's response is, can we go through Wash Method first?
And if not, it should be.
And of course you can, because it's the most romantic. It's Manitoba's Niagara Falls.
The VIP text or caller today. It's free for all Friday. Wins a VIP car wash from our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program as we come at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. Try the new triple pep pizza only at Boston Pizza. I promised we'd bring David O back on. He had one more point, but Dave, we got to be quick. Are you there, David? Did we lose David?
David might have.
Sorry, guys.
Well, there you
are you
go.
here?
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so with a guy like Luke Shen, I don't think he brought a lot to the table. A lot of size when he wanted to. I don't think it was a real consistent effort. You get a guy like Stanley, a lot of size. He doesn't know how to use it. And, then you get guys like Sandberg, and he is amazing. Like, that's a keeper as far as I'm concerned. They were playing their size. They were making things happen. Or Sandberg and, say, Baron.
Yeah.
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 I mean, no, size is a factor. I think it's a factor for sure. Do I think you can win without it? Yes. Do I think you win with it? Yes. Like I do. If you can choose it or get it in what you need, I think it's a valuable factor. But again, to me, if they didn't create as many chances as they did, like if Velarde didn't get to the front of the net, if Morrissey, when you said he was going to the front of the net, like Lowry and Kyle Connor alone in front of the net when Iafallo fed him, and then the shorthanded breakaway, like to me, it was the missed opportunities. Now, you might need some size if you weren't creating those chances, but I saw a lot of chances.
Size to me is a tiebreaker, right? If you have two players that are exactly the same in everything, they have the same stats, they have the same analytics, they bring the same thing to the table, they have the same skill set, all that. One of those players is 5'9", the other one is 6'1". The one player that's 5'9" is 200 pounds. The other one is 225. It's a tiebreaker to me. You take that player that's bigger.
Sam Steele had some big goals in this series, and he's not a big dude.
Yeah.
Is there something to say about exhaustion from these guys missing chances? I mean, the bodies were thrown around, and I truly believe that a lot of size in the playoffs does keep you through longevity. Missing chances and exhaustion go hand in hand. So do injuries, and that's why I think Scheifele kind of got. I mean, I'm no doctor, but
yeah, David. Thanks so much for the call. We'll discuss that, but I gotta let you go. I appreciate it.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, thanks, David. I think everybody's exhausted in the playoffs. I think you ask the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers, they're beaten up and exhausted. I think it's just part of this attrition that you go through in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, look, we've seen big teams like St. Louis in 2019 come through and do it. Vegas. We've seen other teams, come pull through. And
do I think the Jets were injured and tired? In that game,
like
6?
Colorado's won a cup.
Yeah,
somebody emailed me and said,
I think everybody
with the beating and physicality that Morrissey takes, how's a guy that size going to last 4 rounds to win a Stanley Cup? And I replied the same way Cale Makar does. They're the same height, and Josh actually has 10 pounds on him.
Yeah.
Like I think we're getting too finite. I think all these things are how you help build a team. I don't think they're a defining factor in winning it.
Yeah, I get it, though, because you look at, there's such, like, the Jets not beating the Stars was such a thin margin, Jim. Like, the Jets could have won that series. It wasn't like Colorado or Vegas in the 2 years past where the Jets, they just weren't in it. You know what I mean?
They were the better team in game 1, and they lost 3-2.
That's right.
And they couldn't find for their life, the chances they created in that third period of game 1 and couldn't bury it.
They have tougher outings in Dallas. There's no doubt about it. But you shut out the next 2 games you play in Winnipeg, and then you take it to overtime. You lose in overtime on a penalty kill
without Morrissey for half the game.
Yeah. So it's easier to.
That's
define.
why I say, like, built for the playoffs. There's a team in the first round that's built for the playoffs. I hardly believe that they didn't get out of it. It's Colorado. They're built for the playoffs, and they couldn't get out of the first round.
Here's a text message. Again, we take text messages we take calls are priority, but this is a really, I think, good text message. And Jim, you had a really great perspective on this, and I think we should share it. This was from Kevin. Free for all Friday. Okay, I heard Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts on his recent podcast say Ehlers wants to go to a team where he can win. I'm thinking, what the heck does that mean? ? Winning the President's Trophy is a lot of winning. Fell short in the playoffs, but that's still a lot of winning that can still win the cup. I'm just confused. What exactly does Ehlers want? If it's about winning, he's on a great team. If it's about getting paid, Chevy will cut him a deal. It's about community. Winnipeg checks the box. Elliot Friedman doesn't throw mud at the wall and hope it sticks. He doesn't do that. So I'm bothered with Friedman's statement. Thanks. That one from Kevin. Jim, you have a great perspective on this.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't want to win here in Winnipeg. I think what he's saying is if he goes somewhere, he's going to go to a winner. What he means by that is he's not going to go to San Jose for $10 million a year. He's not going to go to Chicago for $11 million a year. He wants to go to a winning team if he's going. And so I think he'll take $9 million to go to New York, or I think he'll take $9 million to go to, name me another contending team.
So I don't think
Vancouver wants him. I wonder if he looks at Vancouver and goes, that's a winning team. I know they didn't make the playoffs, but so I think when I hear Elliot Friedman say that, I think what he's saying is he's not going to go, if San Jose offers him $12 million, go to San Jose because he wants to win. So he's going to go to a contending team that has a chance to win, and then the money decided on where it'll be.
He's not disparaging Winnipeg.
No,
he just sees that there's other opportunities.
I don't think he's saying Winnipeg will never win and can't win here. I don't think he's saying that at all.
No, I don't think so either. Hey, Jay, welcome to the show.
Hey, I almost forgot what I was going to say. First off, I can't believe you guys didn't get the invite to Chevy's cabin for July 1st. What the heck? What do you mean you're not going up there?
Oh, God.
What the heck?
Last summer when I was there, his phone kept ringing, and I said, would you put that down? The grill is burning.
Oh, the nervous. That's terrible guests, eh?
Just, can you leave your phone alone, Kevin? The burgers are burning.
Put it on mute. No one cares that you're the GM.
Kevin,
so,
Kevin, it's 1 o'clock. I thought you were taking me tubing out on the lake.
Yeah. Kevin, are we going fishing or what? It's noon.
I really do think he has the worst job. When it comes to the $6 million on the table, if he spent it and they didn't go anywhere, it was bad decisions on him. He doesn't spend it, they don't go far enough, it's bad decisions on him. There's no way of making people happy with his job. It's just it's an unthankful job unless you win the Stanley Cup. But my real point is, you're a President's Choice winning team. You hit the trade deadline. You are top in the West. How do we change this narrative of getting players to take the no trade clause off to Winnipeg and going to Winnipeg? Like, what else do they need to see? It's a first-place team in the West. You're at the trade deadline. You're looking like you're going to make a push in the playoffs. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but that's, post-tense. No one knew then. So how do we change this narrative with other players saying, no, I don't want to go to Winnipeg? Like, I don't get it anymore. Like, it's mind-boggling.
This
to me.
is
like, what do you need to do?
This is one, Jay, I struggle with mightily, because there comes a point, and this is why I'm more traditional. I care about winning, right? Like, I'm from the era players used to take pay cuts to go live in Detroit and be a part of the Red Wings and win championships. I don't get it. I understand if you're Mitch Marner. I get that. What I don't get is the Martin Natchases of the world. I don't know a Brock.
He's from
Brock
Warroad.
Nelson is from Warroad.
Yeah, he's from Warroad.
Now he's okay in Colorado. That's worked out for him.
I think there was talk about him staying there afterwards.
But
I think there was probably some talk. And did that sway him one way or
But is
another?
there not a second line center out there that goes, I'll play in that top six and on that power play? Get me to Winnipeg. And I get it, right?
Not even the chances are you're not even okay, you come here for 3 months and then go back to wherever the heck you want. Who cares? I don't care if you want to go live wherever you want. It's 3-4 months you're going to be staying here.
Well, we're going to find out with Velarde, right? Like, if Velarde signs 6 years, that's a guy that's not from here, and his partner is from California, I think.
Yeah.
And if he signs for 6 or 7 years here, that's a guy that goes, I'm on the highest scoring line in the National Hockey League last year.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere. And so that's my point. Like, I get the odd player. Yeah, I don't want to live in Winnipeg. Like Rantanen, I can get it, right? He's literally picking and choosing between his dictated 6 markets. But there's not a second line center out there that doesn't go in Chicago or San Jose or somewhere that goes, Anna, get me to Winnipeg. I want to play in that top 6. I have a chance to win. It's Seth Jones. I made that rant a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I get that
I don't get it
I don't
anymore.
have a problem if you go Winnipeg, Dallas, and Florida, and at the end of the day you pick Florida. I have zero problem with that. But if you've been in Chicago and Columbus, and you don't look at playing with Josh Morrissey, with Connor Hellebuck as your goalie, and this top 6 and go, no, I'm not even considering it, I don't get that.
Yeah, Jay, I was having lunch with a really good friend of mine yesterday, and we were talking about. Yeah, it was Cheveldayoff. No, not him. That
Making
wasn't
plans
it.
for the cabin.
That wasn't him. And we were talking about this, and it was about something totally different. But sometimes to problems there isn't a solution. And I think that this is one of those. I don't think there's a solution to this. I don't.
It's too bad, because I think you're losing on those opportunities that could actually maybe help push this team just that one step further to get it done.
Yeah,
and it's just frustrating. Like, it's mind-boggling.
Like, my point is, if I'm Martin Natchez, I'm not a 95-point player, and I'm looking at free agency in a year or two, and now it's a year. I go, get me to Winnipeg. Get me on that top 6 and on that power play with that goalie, and I'm going to score a ton of points and go into free agency. I don't get the whole I'm not going to Winnipeg.
And then go ice fishing with the boys. Jay, thanks so much. Hey, do you want a car wash from our good friends at Wash Method?
I would always take a car wash, guys.
All right, Jay. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it.
It's date night. Do the right thing here.
Absolutely. Let's take a break. Let's come back. 204-780-6868. Get to more of your calls. Perhaps squeeze in a few text messages as well. And make sure to download the Jets at Noon podcast free now on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. With exclusive Jets talk and content only found there, and take Jets at Noon wherever you go and continue the conversation whenever you want. Just like Teresa says, guys, Dallas coach Pete DeBoer fired. That is exactly what we talk about on the exclusive portion of the podcast. You want to hear our takes on that? And we also tied in a little bit of Rick bonus in there as well. How do we do that? Well, just download the podcast. Find out. We'll be right back. Boom. Free for all Friday after this. Welcome back. Miss your chance. Get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon Hockey Hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Dig into the new Triple Pep Pizza and Double Trouble Nachos, available now only at Boston Pizza. The number one caller is going to, from this week, will be awarded a $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza today. We'll do it again next Friday. Here's the winner, Terry.
Hi, Cam and Big Jim. It's Terry. With respect to Canada supporting the Oilers, I, for one, will not be supporting the Oilers. If it's not the Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup playoffs, then I'm not supporting anybody. I know Big Jim has a bromance with Connor McDavid, and if it's choice, then it may as well be Paul Maurice for a second time. Thanks, and have a great summer, guys.
Now, if you're going to call out Big Jim and say he has a bromance with Connor McDavid, I mean, that's, to me, I'm the one who picks this. So that's worth a $50 gift certificate to Boston Pizza as far as I'm concerned. Jim, do you have some time to comment on your bromance with Connor McDavid?
If he was broke down on the side of the road, his truck no good, mine was good, would I stop and pick him up? No. If his snow shovel broke in half while I'm shoveling my walk, when I'm done, would I lend him my snow shovel? No. But do I think he's a good hockey player? Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's not bad.
That's right, yeah.
He's pretty good.
If I'm like 10 feet ahead of him when I'm going in and I turn around, he's 10 feet behind me, do I hold the door open for him? No. Get closer. You're fast. Be 2 feet behind me. I'm not going to stand here forever. But I do think he's one of the best players on the planet. So when best players win a cup, it's okay. But I do not want Edmonton to win tonight.
Do I need to go on my rant? Do I need to have another rant?
My house went nuts when Draisaitl scored. And, hey! And the boy ran upstairs. He's like, Dad, Draisaitl scored. No, and I'm like, I know. I'm watching it. Go to bed. You're grounded.
So
the disrespect in my own home.
Yeah, Jim, like, we're on TikTok. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I don't really talk about it too much.
We're on
here.
TikTok?
We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on X. We're on YouTube. We gotta look us up. Jets at Noon. You go find us wherever. On TikTok, I put out some of my anti-Oilers rants, and it is inundated with Oilers fans calling me a loser, a bum, your team sucks, all that stuff. But there was something in there, too, that had really surprised me. There was a bunch of Oilers fans who were like, I'd expect this sort of behavior from the Flames and Vancouver, but I'm surprised. I always kind of like the Jets. I cheered for them.
That alone is disrespectful, to think that we're not as bad as the other teams.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this: just look at the record of the Jets in the against the Oilers in the 1.0 era, and I want you to flip the switch, Oilers fans. And if that was the Jets pounding the Oilers, you'd hate the Jets' guts. And that's the end of it. Wayne, welcome to Jets at Noon, our final caller. What's going on, dude?
Hi, Wayne.
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Same to you.
What's on your mind?
I have a question. If we're going to go with the narrative, Cam, that the Jets almost got out of the second round, then do we not also have to say that they were, one could say, exceedingly lucky to get out of the first round? That's one statement. My other statement is, I'm just curious, as far as an earlier caller mentioned a little bit more for size, I don't necessarily think we need more size, but the fellows that we do have that are forwards don't play that heavy of a game, like a Mason Appleton or Morgan Barron. Like, yeah, they're tough along the walls, but against St. Louis, they ran us the first 2 games. Our defensemen were looking over their shoulders all the time. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Okay, Jim, you want to take the number 1 or number 2?
We're sorry, Wayne. We're nitpicking again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they needed a Manitoba Miracle to beat St. Louis, and they did it, and then they also went to overtime and did it again. And they were close against Dallas. Like, I think when we do this, we often go, they lost in the second round, or Hellebuck let in 5 shots, or this. You have to look at the context. I have no problem with the way the team played against Dallas. None. I thought they played better in that series than they did against St. Louis overall. Yeah. And they were very close. So I think it's fine to say, same with Colorado, right? Like
the St. Louis.
Colorado was really close to getting out of the first round, but they didn't.
The St. Louis series with the Jets was like exceedingly close as well. I mean, that was a close series. That was a tough out. I don't want to disrespect. In St. Louis, they were going into the playoffs, probably playing the best hockey. Like, they had the best record from a certain amount of time heading into the playoffs. I mean, they were good. They were a dang good team. So yeah, if you know, Wayne, I will let you, if you want to frame it, that first question you have that way, that the Jets were lucky to get out St. Louis. If that's what you want to take away from it, but I look at it as a team rising to an occasion and achieving. In moments where they had faltered in the past. That's how I'll look at it more optimistically than pessimistically in that sense. But thanks so much for the call. I appreciate it, Wayne. You take care.
Good stuff, Wayne. We appreciate it.
204-780-6868. Thanks so much for everybody for making Free For All Friday very, very fun.
And we get leftovers on Monday.
And leftovers. Hey, if you got your text message, we'll go after it.
We're going to
leftovers on we reheat it. Jim Tilt took you all the way till 2 o'clock. Thanks very much, Jeffrey Fortier, for producing the show. That's it for me. Be back same time on Monday. See ya.